Welcome to Best Kept Secrets Travel, episode 15. My name's Morgan.
And I'm Will, and on today's episode, we're carrying on from episode 14 of season 2, which was part 1 deep dive into Guatemala. So today, on this episode, you get part 2 of Guatemala.
Ooh.
So if you haven't seen the previous episode, really recommend you go back and listen to that first.
Chickens.
Because we include everything from the geography, the history, best Instagrammable locations, best things to eat. And
Drink,
also, yeah,
best
chickens.
time to visit.
Chickens,
yeah.
But the first thing to do now is to roll the
intro.
Best friends, and that's for life. Who stay traveling? I'm talking worldwide. 65 countries between the two. Every moment is so unbelievable. Sharing the best kept secrets about the trips and mistakes they made that they can't forget. So tell me if you're ready for a time to remember as they gear up for the next adventure. Yeah. Woo! Best kept secrets travel.
Before we jump straight back into part 2 of our deep dive into Guatemala, as always, please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, follow all of our podcasts, download every single episode because then you will help plant more trees. Leave us a review. Please, on Spotify, leave us a review.
New.
Give us the highest possible review to get us even higher in the charts now because we are being listened to all over the world and you are just joining at the beginning of a long ride.
They may not just be joining. They may have been here the whole time.
Yeah, you may have been here the whole time, and by now, if you downloaded and listened to and subscribed and sent this to multiple friends and enemies, you could have helped plant a lot of trees now.
I do really hope, though, because it's the best way for us to grow, that if you do like this, or
Like
you
a
know
tree.
someone... True, like a tree. Or if you know someone who would like us, because, you know...
Because if they would
I'm
like
likeable.
us, then it would be wood like a tree.
That's
I'd
a
be
good way
barking
for
loud,
us to
though.
grow, so...
We're just trying to branch out to more viewers and listeners now.
Okay, we're going to do, I'll start with a breakdown of the best things to see, and we're going to start right here, right now, with Semak Champi. Semak Champi is the area along the Cahabon River in the rainforest of eastern Guatemala. It has a spectacular scenery and features really beautiful natural limestone bridge that passes over several turquoise pools in the river, descending from each other into small waterfalls. It's one of the most beautiful natural parks in the world. Semak Champi also features a network of caves that adventure seekers love exploring. You can either take a 2.5-hour walk to Semak Champi, or you can take a 4-wheel drive pickup from Lanquin to Semak, which will get you there in about 25 minutes. And if you love nature,
I love nature.
then Semak Champi is a must visit to you.
Oh, I must visit them.
Maybe it's a best kept secret. The
Maybe.
opening time of Semak Champi is around 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. and the entrance fee is 50
Don't wake up
Guatemalan
until 5
Quetzal, which is around £8-9 maybe,
Yeah.
roughly. Yeah.
No. A lot less.
Really, is it that bad?
Yeah. Seeing as it was 10.47 Guatemalan pretzels in the previous part 1. So it will roughly be...
I said pounds.
£4.80. Didn't you just say £8?
Yeah.
You numbnut. Morgan, to make up for that, can you... where do you know the most popular place in Guatemala for tourists?
Antigua.
The street with Arco de Santa Catalina is one of the most Instagrammable places in Guatemala.
We missed this on part 1 where we spoke about most Instagrammable locations in Guatemala and Will's forehead.
I'm really confused right now, Morgan.
Antigua. You're reading about.
It's not Antigua. Antigua's a country. I'm so confused. You're saying Antigua, I just read that. I've questioned my reading now. You said Antigua and I was thinking, Antigua's a little island. Island Caribbean.
Should we... I can't remember. I have no idea.
Is it spelt the same way? Maybe that's the problem.
It could be. Island. Yes. Spelled the same.
Is it? Oh, it really is. Okay, so Antigua, not the country, is the most popular place in Guatemala for tourists. The street with Arco de Santa Catalina is one of the most Instagrammable places in Guatemala. The architecture surrounding the city is superb and was also declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1979. Antigua has great nightlife. Besides visiting colonial churches, there are restaurants and bars. Looking to have fun in the weekend? Go to Antigua. Not the country, but this place in Guatemala.
Or both.
To be fair, Antigua,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe.
But this Guatemalan Antigua is lovely to walk around during the day, and it's a perfect place to stay for a few days or even weeks if you have time.
Sounds very popular.
It does.
The next on our list is Laguna Latura. After a few rough roads and an hour-long hike through thick, dense rainforest, you'll earn your afternoon at Laguna Latura. I love an activity when they say you'll earn your afternoon. You've got to actually earn it. One of Guatemala's most beautiful natural wonders, apart from the belly button of the world. The Calcitic, bright calcitic, bright turquoise lake. The calcitic bright turquoise lake is perfect for a variety of outdoor activities. Located in the middle of Laguna Latura National Park, the lake remains free of villages and settlements, so you can relax in tranquility. A refreshing oasis in the middle of the jungle, Laguna Latura is the perfect place to spend the afternoon.
Night. Sierra del Lakandon National Park, with some of the most diverse ecosystems in the entire country. This national park is stunning, with jagged limestone cliffs, a lush green rainforest budging up to the Mexican border. It's protected land that covers an astonishing 2,000 square kilometres. That is enormous national park. Not only is the park thriving with native plants and flowers, but it's also home to more than 30 noted archaeological sites, which you can go and explore.
That is very cool. That is very cool. So the next one on our list, and we've been to the New Zealand version, and so most people would say the real version, is Hobbiton Ango. I'm trying to think. I did look this up before, and I really can't remember what Tenango means. Because it's on the end of every word, it seems. With 2 restaurants, 26 distinct areas to explore, and plenty of fun activities, Hobbiton Ango is an interactive, fantasy-filled attraction in Guatemala. Lord of the Rings, if you've not
Is this specific one actually inspired by Lord of the Rings?
Yes, very... Do you want to continue reading?
As it's an interactive, fancy-filled attraction in Guatemala. It's located only 20 minutes by car from the Guatemalan Antigua. Visiting Hobbiton Ango is free during the week. However, you do have to pay for the activities. There's an entrance fee of 50 Guatemalan quetzals, which is, once again, around £4.80 on the weekends. Tourists love visiting Hobbiton Ango because of activities such as archery, axe throwing, 7 holes of mini golf, which is such a random number for mini golf. No idea what moron chose that. There are fairground games and the largest swing in Central America. It's a great place to visit as a family.
Tenango means place of walls.
So what's it look like? What? I'm very confused.
I've been there.
What?
So Will is very confused because we went to Hobbiton in New Zealand, which is where a lot of the Lord of the Rings was filmed and The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And in Guatemala they have Hobbiton Ango, which we've just been talking about.
These just look like rubbish hobbit holes. They're barely in.
And they look like rubbish hobbit holes.
You could go in some of them though, which you can't do in Hobbiton.
That's a secret.
Mate, this is weird.
I'm pretty sure you can stay in them.
In this?
I have a feeling that you can stay in them as well.
Maybe you can.
But that sounds very exciting. I do remember seeing this when I was looking these up and then thinking that this would get a reaction out of you. So
Oh yeah, you can stay there.
what is your reaction? Would you like to stay there?
I wouldn't say no, because I think it's sort of the one time in your life you're going to do something so weird. But it's not Hobbiton.
Only the
photos-
one time.
No, you can do a lot of weird things. But this is very odd. It's an eco park, restaurant and hotel is how they put it on their website. Yeah, you can stay there. This is mad. You keep reading. I'm going to see how much this is.
So the next on our trip of best places to see is Quetzaltenango. So that is the money house of walls. One of Guatemala's most fun, authentic cities. Although Quetzaltenango is the second largest city in Guatemala, it feels quite a bit smaller than the polluted and loud capital. Located high in the Sierra Madres mountain range, it's the perfect place for anyone looking to experience authentic, real-life Guatemala. Here you'll find great Guatemalan food, lively locals, street fairs and more. Because Zella, which is its nickname, is lively and much more affordable than the cities in the south, the capital and Antigua I'm referring to. Many backpackers settle down here for a few weeks or a month to learn Spanish, because it's very relaxing, which is why it's one of the best things to go out and see. In the middle of the jungle, and we have mentioned this before, are the Tickle Ruins. These are Mayan ruins. The biggest and most famous you'll probably have heard of, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world, is Chichen Itza, which is in Mexico. The Tickle Ruins are in Guatemala, and it's in the middle of the jungle, surrounded by strong and bright greenery, sits the Mayan civilization's remains. You definitely could feel like you've time travelled back to the 6th century. Tickle is one of our best kept secrets that is a must visit. Tickle is huge, and it's a central part of the ancient city alone contains 3,000 buildings. That kind of reminds me, what's in Cambodia? Angkor Wat. That reminds me very much of Angkor Wat with that many buildings. Although tourists can no longer climb the steep steps, which you can do in Angkor Wat, you can't do in Machu Picchu, of the stone pyramids, the site is still incredible. You have to go there first thing in the morning, as we have always said for our very overly touristy destinations. Get there as early as you can so you can miss the crowds. And the price for Tickle's around £17-18.
So this Hobbiton Ango, I found the price on the website using my amazing Spanish skills.
Español.
For a hobbit hole, which looks interesting, for 2 people per night,
dos
it's
personas.
£87 a night. For 2 people.
87.
For 4 people, it's cheaper. It works out cheaper.
Oh,
It's
parfait.
£102 a night. So for an extra bedroom, it's not that much more money.
Okay.
And then for the biggest one they offer...
So that would be £25 each for those 4 people. So that you can kind of, for like
and then
a
it
one-off
gets cheaper
experience.
if you get the biggest room, which has 6...
Hobbits.
6 places for people to stay. But you still, in each one, you only get 1 bathroom. So that's where they're being cheeky. But it's £118 a night for the 6-person room with 1 bathroom.
So that's slightly under £20. So have you changed your mind?
I mean, you'd go for a night. You're not... It looks like going and staying in a theme park, really. It's sort of a bit weird. It's a little bit odd.
Well, why don't you move on to a breakdown of the best activities? And you have mentioned this one before, but go with it anyway.
We're not going to go with the chicken buses again in the best activities, because if you want to hear about the chicken buses, you need to go back to the previous episode, which is part 1 of our deep dive of Guatemala.
But we will give some extra little bits of information, because these buses don't have any specific timetable, and that is quite useful information. They're mainly in heavily populated cities, but these buses do come frequently, and if you're in an isolated area, you can ask the locals about the arrival times of the next buses. But as we said, these buses cover a vast area, and we laughed and spoke about it a lot in part 1.
We did, and next on the list of the best activities to do in Guatemala is El Mirador.
Before you talk about this one,
Yes.
yes theory.
Yes. In theory.
Good start. You said yes. They seeked discomfort, and they did a documentary
Do they?
with quite a few big people,
On
big
this?
YouTubers going here. Yeah.
Well, here, as Morgan
Here?
amazingly put it, is
Oh.
El Mirador, which translates directly to the viewpoint. It is a large pre-Columbian Mayan settlement located in north of El Petron, Guatemala. It is the perfect site to explore the Mayan ruins, enjoy the
Perfect.
spectacular views of the surroundings, and relax in nature. Trips to El Mirador go via the village of Carmelita, but these can be arranged in Flores or Santa Elena. Or Elena.
I don't know.
You'll need to pay an entrance fee of roughly 60 Guatemalan quetzals,
About £5.
which is, yes, around £5.
£5.
5. Fishing. Fishing.
Marlin fishing. So what's a
Marlin
marlin?
fishing?
Tell me what a marlin is.
It's fish. Very large fish. There are lots of types of marlin. Black marlin, blue marlin, other types of marlin. You got the sailfish, which is from the same family, the marlin. But fun fact about marlin is it is the most expensive fish per fish caught for catch and release.
What is a
So,
fish call?
On average, per marlin actually, which is
What-
ever caught.
Oh,
So a fish
caught,
which
sorry,
they've
actually.
which they've ever managed to actually hook and reel in.
Right.
Because people go and spend £1,000, go out trying marlin fishing, and never see a marlin at all. And that's the most common thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently the statistic is for every marlin which is caught on the boat and then they try and tag it and release it, that's the best thing to do. For, I think it's the black marlin, I think it's around $700,000 is spent
Per one.
before someone actually catches one. That's one, how hard they are to get, and two,
Or are there just not many of them?
there aren't now as many, but there are some videos of some really top spearfishermen who are going out just swimming around to see what's around, and then all of a sudden they come across like 4, 5, 6 marlin altogether.
Ooh. So if you love fishing, then you'll love Guatemala. The country's Pacific West Coast is known as the #1 marlin fishing destination in the world. From Pacific sailfish to blue marlin and yellowfin tuna, you will find all sorts of beautiful fish in this natural wonder. You can easily get yourself the fishing gear and the necessary guidance by contacting one of the many fishing expedition service providers in the area. The rates vary very much from service provider to service provider and depend on the experience you choose. So what would you...
I disagree with one of those facts.
I know which fact you're going to say, but moving on from that, what do you recommend for finding they call it a fishing provider, a fishing guide?
I haven't looked up how much these people are claiming it will be in Guatemala for fishing.
I'm more of a generalised question.
Yeah, so more of a heads up before someone out there gets excited for marlin fishing. Most good marlin fishing boats out there for half a day's trip will probably charge you anywhere between sort of $1,500
We don't necessarily need to do
$1,500
marlin.
probably up to about $5,000-$6,000.
We don't need
But if
marlin,
you're going
just
out for
specific.
smaller stuff, so if you're just going out deep sea fishing, firstly look at reviews. 100% trust reviews out there. Do not pay up front. Be on the boat before you pay. Whether you are finally on the boat and then you've got a lot of people will take cash. They won't do it by card. But make sure you pay. On top of that, do please either bring a tip, and it's not for the captain, it's for the crew, because they're not paid as well, and they normally really rely on tips. Or if you've caught lots of fish and you just think, I'm only going to need a tiny bit here, or if you've caught lots of fish, generally do put some back. But if you've caught a fish and the captain's saying, would you have it? And if you think, oh no, I don't need this fish, but you could keep it as a fish, do offer it to the crew member, because sometimes it's amazing how far a fish will go. How many times I've done it and they've turned around and said, this is literally going to feed my village for the next couple of days. Or they just say, oh, this is a big thing for my family. And it really does mean a lot when you get fish, because it's an expensive thing. That's my tips, is trying to book somewhere, look at reviews, do your own research. That is the main thing. Do your research. But if you're just looking to go out and do small fishing where you're trying to get, little fish and you want to learn to handline, either try and book through someone.
What is handlining?
Where you're trying, so you literally have a hand spool. So imagine a round piece of wood. There's a load of fishing line wrapped around it, and you've got a hook on the end, and you just let the line out by hand, and you just jig it up and down. But you can catch enormous fish on that. There are fishermen out there who specifically do that to marlin fish. So they'll catch marlin via a hand line, which is insane. And they can get dragged out if they're doing it by one of the local kayak boats, or some guys kayak fish, and when they've caught marlin, they get dragged out 5 miles to sea.
Wow.
And then they just radio their friend who comes out on a boat and picks them up. They say, yeah, I've got a marlin, but it's on my kayak. Which is nuts.
That is a crazy experience.
Local fishing, you can sometimes just go down to the fishing docks, and the local fishermen really don't earn much money. A lot of them won't earn much money, and they'll be really good fishermen. And if you say to them, I'll pay you to take us out for 3 hours, how much you'd normally make in a day, you can get a very good deal fishing trip, as well as them actually being able to go out and, one, get some more fish for their family, and 2, you can learn and have an amazing trip out.
That is a very good tip. So moving on to the best experiences that you can have in Guatemala. And we have mentioned this as a photo experience before, but it's Akatenango. If you're an adventure seeker, then you will love hiking up the Akatenango Volcano. This massive volcano is located closely to the city of Antigua. It has 2 peaks, Pico Maya and Yepocapa. You will need to hike 4 to 6 hours to a base camp, and after that you'll have to hike several more hours to get to the viewpoint. Hikers usually divide the trip into 2 days, although you can do it faster, and you can also do this hike on your own. You can expect to see some spectacular volcanic eruptions as you hike your way up this monster. The entrance fee is around 50 quetzals, and there is also next to it the Volcano Fuego. The active volcano erupts frequently, usually at least once per hour. It's most active at night, and a popular excursion from Antigua is to hike up the volcano and Akatenango and watch it erupt all night long, all night, all night, all night long. Copyright.
Anyway, on to Monterico Beach. Monterico Beach is known for its black sand. You can do lots of things in Monterico Beach. Like
things.
Swimming. Help baby turtles get down to the shore. But please, please, please only do that if you're supervised by someone in the area who
Not just
actually
picking up random
represents
turtles.
some form of, nature park person. Don't just a local will come over and then try and get money off you. And also, most baby turtles can get out the sand fine and get to the water fine. They follow the sunlight or the moonlight. They don't need your help. They've been around longer than humans. So please just...
No, but they're babies.
don't disturb nature. That's my little rant done
Float.
for silly tourists out there. Or you can just sleep in a hammock for a good day's rest. You can see hatcheries, always beautiful and interesting for the environment. Hatcheries being small turtle egg mounds where normally all the groups would have marked them out. So please also don't go stomping around them. You can visit Monterico Nature Reserve where you'll see, once again, turtles, caimans and iguanas. Caimans being on the family of, I think they're from alligators, not crocodiles.
Yeah, they're alligators because they're smaller.
And the black sand is obviously, because there are so many volcanoes, is from the breaking down of the volcanic rock.
Yes.
Similar like you get in the likes of Hawaii.
Very exciting. And as we mentioned about one of our random facts in part 1 of the deep dive is that chocolate is almost
Willy
seen...
Wonka's chocolate factory is in Guatemala.
Ah!
Wow!
The sequel. I was about to say Godzilla. Chocolate comes from the gods. So one of the best experiences you can do is make chocolate in Antigua, in Guatemala. Mayans have been drinking and eating chocolate for hundreds of years.
How are they not massive?
And they have fantastic teeth too. And cocoa beans, which chocolate is made of, are all grown around Guatemala and Antigua. We had cocoa beans in the Amazon.
In Bolivia.
In Bolivia.
Runabaki.
But more importantly in season 1, episode 23. But
We did.
we
dive
found
into our Amazon trip.
we had found it a very
It's weirdly sweet when you suck on it.
It felt more like a fruit, like a proper.
Yeah, but you weren't chewing the cacao bean. We were
No.
told to suck on the cacao bean.
So it's like a boiled fruit instead of a boiled
Yeah,
sweet.
it was bizarre, but it was really cool.
It was
The
cool.
cocoa pod, the yellow cocoa pod, which they got just for us.
Yeah. So what better place to learn how to make chocolate? The workshop starts with an overview of the history of chocolate. Quick to the point and energetic. And then it gets into the fun part. Participants roast cocoa beans and then separate the husks from the beans. The husks are used to make several chocolate teas without sugar, so it's very bitter then. And then if you add sugar, it becomes less bitter. It's a useful fact.
Other thing you can do in Guatemala is explore the wilderness near Rio Dolce. Rio Dolce, which literally translates to the sweet river, is a river made of chocolate in eastern Guatemala. If you couldn't tell, that is a lie, because this isn't Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It starts near Livingston and runs inland. The dense jungle that surrounds the river provides endless opportunities for adventure. Travellers can enjoy Rio Dolce by exploring the wilderness and taking part in day trips to the majestic natural wonders around the river. You can also explore River Dolce National Park, which is free to enter.
Yay!
In the park, you can rent kayaks, hike to little villages, swim, relax, and soak in the serenity of nature.
Like we are now with our massive
In
skyline. We can
yeah,
see the Milky
which is-
Way.
Wow. Look,
It's there.
it's pterodactyl.
There were flies in the last episode.
We've got pterodactyls now.
Pterodactyls now, they've probably hit predators to all those new flies. So excited for that to come out.
What?
The
You're
next
really
Jurassic
excited
World.
by the Ixtal region?
I'm also really excited by the Ixtal region, but Jurassic World because they've got all the old actors and characters coming
I'm
back.
really also excited
with the new
by
ones.
the Ixtal region in the state of Quiche. It's remote and rural.
Didn't know it tastes like that. It's one of the harder to reach areas in Guatemala, but it's definitely worth reaching to experience the authentic Ixtal culture and hike around the highlands that reach over 3,500 meters. There are several towns at altitude. There are several towns to visit in this area, many of which can be hiked in between. Nebaj is generally the starting off point. It's a small city, but worth stopping through to eat boxbull and check out the market. One of the best hikes also starts here, Nebaj de Todos Santos. We like doing hikes like this, especially in remote regions. They're
We
very
have
fun.
saved also the most important thing for last.
Marshmallows.
Technically papaya, but yeah, which is roast marshmallows. Roasting marshmallows on a bonfire may be fun, but it's surely not as much fun as roasting them on papaya, which is an active, complex volcano in Guatemala. Roasting marshmallows on volcano.
That's cool.
Number one thing to do in
That
Guatemala
sounds
right
safe.
here now.
That sounds safe.
End of the episode. So if you've made it this
Love
far,
it.
you are finding out
Save the
kept
best till
secret
last.
in the deep dive for Guatemala, which is roasting marshmallows on a volcano. It's one of the only few volcanoes in the world where you can actually see red hot lava flowing down the side of the volcano as you ascend towards it. You're going towards the lava.
That sounds
You can
great.
easily hike your way up here, which makes it even better for all those tourists who aren't fit. It's located about 90 minutes drive from the Guatemalan Antigua. You can catch a shuttle from Antigua to Pacaya. You'll need to pay around, again, 50 Guatemalan quetzals.
Everything's 50 quetzals in Guatemala.
Yeah, it's just mad. It's cheap. It's around, £4.80. Not even £5 to enter the park. Although you
Quid
can visit
is the same
Pacaya
as pounds, by the
any
way.
time of the year, you should avoid the rainy season if you want to get the thrill of seeing active lava flowing down a volcano. Marshmallows on lava. Mental.
Oh my god! I'd say this
That
feels
make
like
a good TikTok.
This feels like a very.
That's a viral TikTok.
That is. That feels. We'll do it, or we'll get someone to do it for us because I know someone.
Send Finn.
Yeah, Finn.
Finn, if you're listening to this,
No, you now have to listen to
you
this.
have to listen to this. We need video content of marshmallows at
Being
the
roasted at Pacaya. So this feels like a very silly question.
Yeah.
What do you think your favourite thing to do is?
My favourite thing.
Yes. Favourite thing to do in Guatemala.
Favourite thing that I've obviously got most excited about in the entirety of this episode.
Hobbiton Ango.
No.
Chickens.
No.
Buses.
My favourite thing.
Quetzals, pretzels.
I really. Yeah. The flight home. No, I'd definitely be roasting marshmallows on volcanoes.
I bet there were some people just sitting there listening to this, thinking, "What?"
What's he gonna say? Yeah, I think the
My favourite bit were the horses.
really,
Mm.
that's your favourite bit.
Yeah,
Cool. Why is it your favourite bit?
just how they go with the chickens in the buses, how they move. They're very fast, three-legged characters, and they have very pretty braids.
The horses.
Yes. Have you not seen the horses with braids?
Yeah, in Shrek.
Is that not a donkey?
You're obviously not a Shrek fan if you haven't seen the bit where he gets a magic potion put on him and then
Becomes a horse. Yes.
stallion.
Oh, he's a beautiful stallion.
Oh, see, we even talk about Shrek.
Of
on Best
course.
Kept Secrets Travel.
Of course. So my favourite activity, I think, El Mirador is definitely up there because I feel like that's like a once in a lifetime experience.
You're being a yes theory fanboy.
I am. No. I said it was up there, but for me because
How
I
high?
haven't had
What altitude is that?
reasonably high because it's still covered, but
we've
not
been
that high.
talking at high altitude, Morgan. I'm gonna have to pick my.
It's not that high because it's covered by the dense forest. They only found it like in the last decade, I believe. So it's quite a recent discovery and it's huge.
I'm sure someone knew it was there.
Probably some of the locals not telling people, but it is
I
one.
think the Mayans would have known it was there.
It's one of the I don't know many mines nowadays.
Do you not?
It's one of the largest pyramids by volume in the world. So it is very cool. But I think I would have to say I'm going slightly different to you. Akatenango. Because I haven't had a volcano experience. I'm desperate to have a volcano experience. And a good one, not one exploding and me running away.
Yeah, but if you go to Pacaya, then you get the volcano experience plus marshmallows. So you get a sugar rush whilst at the volcano.
That is true.
So whilst you go to one boring volcano,
but I think it's a better height. Yeah, but you get to see, instead of just trickling down, you get to see
You're getting close
lava.
enough to roast marshmallows over it.
That is cool. And breathe in all the beautiful
sulfur.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think it's close. But
no cigar?
Akatenango for me. Pardon me?
I said, but no cigar.
That's Cuba.
That's a Cuban cigar. Oh, Morgan.
It's bedtime, that's what it is.
It's time we roll the outro.
No. Please follow us. Roll the outro.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I hope that you can handle going on adventures, best kept secret travels. Yeah, all over the globe, having fun, you know the deal. Amazing secret locations, hang out with Morgan and Will. Educate and entertain, haggle in the market, sharing their experiences. Time to get it started. Let's go.